welcome back to SDK Racing. We have some developments, we have some stuff in the way that might get here in time to include in this video. I'm trying to not make this video late, but depending on when things arrive, it could be. So, if you're seeing this a day late, I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best here. First up, we got some stuff from Send Cut Send. It came out great, however, two things are wrong. Firstly, this hole's fine. These two holes over here are not. I measured to the edge of the hole, not the center of the hole, so they're completely misaligned, which I could fix by just ovaling this mounting hole here if I wanted to. However, I also conceived of a much better way of fixing this to the firewall rather than just through holes and riv nuts. I instead redesigned it to accept studs. That way it's just drill the holes, slot it through, put nuts on it on the other side. Let me take you in the car and show you how this would bolt up. Alright, oh yeah, there's the temporary mounting solution for the ECU, PDM, wideband, CAN hub, and on-off switch that I may or may not be using because I have a new one coming from CarTech. But this hole here is going to be expanded up top to have these guys be able to slot through. But you can see kind of the, not form, but the body lines here on the firewall conform nicely to the plate I designed to fit specifically there. But again, new one's coming. The other thing I have coming aside from that CarTech thing is a steering wheel button controller that is wireless. I actually have the instructions out there. Let's go look at that. Excuse the mess. I'm still kind of cleaning it up from various other projects. But yeah, there's a system that's coming soon-ish that's just basically bolts on behind the wheel itself and has 6 buttons that wirelessly communicate to a control box that then control stuff like blinkers, headlights, flashers, horn, etc. Oh, I also have horns around here too. There they are. I don't know if I showed those yet. Aside from that, I mean, those are required things, I would say, to safely use your turn signals, and I have to look down here and fiddle with the pad while I'm driving or whatnot. Not that it's going to be a street going vehicle, just I'd rather not have to fiddle with a keypad while on track to flash somebody to get them to move over or whatever else. But aside from all that, I have also ordered some alternate tail lights that we're not going to talk about how much I spent on them. When you see them, those that know will know how much I spent on them. Those that don't know don't need to know. We'll just leave it at that. And a lot of people probably won't like them. But if you like these, you might like those. And that might give you a hint as to what I ordered for back there. Which might not even be installed because they are fresh in box. So are the perfect thing to take a mold of when I start doing the carbon stuff. So that'll come later. So hopefully I'll be able to recoup some costs on those in selling a pair or two. So we'll see. Alright, now on to the front. Not a whole lot of movement has happened in the 2 weeks that we've been apart. The intake is still not here. However, it has had the work started on it at Dan ST Engineering over in the UK. So that is well underway. I expect them to have the machining done on that pretty soon and have it welded to the ITBs as well as the support brackets fashioned up and have that shipped over within the next week or so. So we're good on that. Once that gets here, I can kind of have everything start coalescing into place because everything up here is already wired and ready to go. I just need to have it chopped and wired into the breakout plug, and then we should be good. I guess while I'm here, I can also explain the other CarTech thing I have coming, the disconnect. It's a motorsport disconnect that just disconnects the negative lead from the battery and also sends a kill signal to the ECU. That way we're not just cutting power to the ECU and potentially damaging something, which might have happened. We'll know more once we have everything wired up again to see if we still have that weird 17 volt issue or whatever it was before. A brief synopsis of that is I suddenly started seeing way more volts being read out by the ECU than were physically possible by this battery. So either something was wired fucky or something went funky in the ECU. And I'm hoping it was the wiring and not the ECU because that's an expensive fix. Aside from that, other developments are I have taken the scan the entire underside of the front of the car, at least, because there are, actually have them here, OEM tie-down brackets that are bolted with like M12 studs to the underside of the frame rails, which are nearly the perfect location for a splitter bracket. A splitter bracket that I am collaborating on with Professional Awesome Racing. They're actually going to send me a set of their universal splitter quick releases to mock up and make sure I have everything aligned correctly before I have the final design. And they'll actually most likely be selling that design on their site. So those of you that have a Focus that want a reliable bolt-on way of, legitimately fashioning or affixing a splitter to the front end, there you go. You're welcome. I did a lot of design work on it. You can see some of my sketch work right there on it, that it might actually go forward with another secondary bracket to affix to the bottom side of the crash rail, which would then have 90s facing downwards, that you could hook up ducting for your radiator to, as well as a second set of splitter quick releases mounted all the way out here, so you don't really need a whole lot of splitter rods, not going to the bumper of course, but going to the crash member to support that splitter fully. And of course, having that completed design as well as probably a prototype through Senka Send, I'll be able to start on my own splitter, which is going to be to the maximum allowed range of the SCCA Solos rule book. So I think it's like 5 or 6 inches forward of the bodywork shadow, like downward, and then as wide as the arches, as the wheel arches are. So it's not going to be terribly wide, but it'll be effective if it's all designed and cut correctly. And it's going to be at a 3/4 inch pine plywood, so it should be strong enough. Yes, I know I can make it out of carbon with a foam core, but I'm not skilled enough in doing that to be confident enough to say that yes, this thing will not fall apart at speed. Whereas a hunk of wood bolted with some really decent brackets, I'm fairly confident won't fall apart. And I do still have to scan the sunroof opening mounting area as well as the sunroof I have over there to do a 3D printed plug to then make a carbon mock-up, or not carbon mock-up, but carbon replica of. So that's in the future though. Focusing on the wiring. I have some stuff coming for that from Senka-sen, like I said. And hopefully the next couple clips will include me cutting my firewall to have everything kind of bolt up correctly. So let's get to that. It actually works. It's going to be a lot easier. There we go. Just trim it up a little bit more, clean it up, and we'll be good. There we go. Got a thicker gasket, cleaned up the hole a little bit. I still need to kind of do a coat of paint over everything, but pretty much done. On the back side here, I'm going to do a backing plate here, just to sandwich the sheet metal between two equal thickness plates, instead of just being bolted straight to the thin sheet metal. And yes, again, I do need to do a coat of paint on the other side, but overall, I'm happy with the results. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video, completing that long-awaited bulkhead connector for the ECU and PDM. Next round, or next video, I should say, we're going to be doing a little bit of race car stuff. This is some stuff from CarTech. And then we got some more stuff from CarTech, the buttons, not the wheel. But just some quality of life and kind of much needed safety equipment. So I might do a cold open next episode just to kind of get right into the making of stuff. Took a bit to kind of get into the actual doing bit portion of this video, but you know, we got a major thing accomplished finally that's been months in the making at this point. The intake's still getting worked on. I actually had to do a scan of the intake area because if they had welded the plate onto the ITBs as they were originally going to, the fuel rail would never have been able to come off. So they're looking at extending the ITBs or clocking the added plenum just enough to have it clear everything, but they weren't confident that whatever they would do would fit. So I said, hey, I have a 3D scanner, let me just 3D scan it. So here we are. But that scan is going to be going over to them tomorrow. This is like a Google Drive link, but yeah, hopefully once they have that, they'll be able to kind of get things going and we can finally get the intake back, which means we can finally finish the fucking wiring. So like, follow, comment, subscribe, whatever. I will see you guys in the next one.